Harper Business and HarperAudio present The Key Man, the true story of how the global elite was duped by a capitalist fairy tale, by Simon Clark and Will Louch, read by Peter Noble. Author's note. This book is based on hundreds of interviews with more than 150 people, including 70 former Unabridged employees, business chiefs, politicians, and a Vatican cardinal. All of the men and women who appear in the narrative do so under their real names. Many people who agreed to contribute asked not to be named because they feared it might cause trouble for themselves. These people have been referred to as employees or executives, or with other general descriptions. Quotes attributed to characters in dialogues are drawn from email exchanges, other forms of electronic messaging, videos, or court hearings, or were reconstructed from participants' recollections. We have made extensive use of legal documents and witness statements from the many court cases involving Unabridged, including criminal and civil cases the U.S. government has brought. These documents are identified in the notes section at the end of the book. We contacted all the main characters in the Unabridged saga and asked them to comment. We have interviewed Arif Naqvi on a number of occasions in the past. Through his lawyer, Arif declined our interview requests for this book, citing his ongoing legal proceedings. He has maintained his innocence of the U.S. charges. Prologue. It's a crucial moment in history. It's an opportunity to immutably and absolutely change the course of innumerable lives. Arif Naqvi, a silver-haired man of soft, bearish charm, was giving the biggest speech of his life. Hundreds of business leaders were gathered at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel by New York's Central Park to hear him speak on that sunny Monday morning in September 2017. This was his moment. The eyes of the global elite were fixed on him, and he knew he needed to make a big impression. The New York Times and Forbes had published glowing articles about the tycoon, who socialized with billionaires, royalty, and politicians. Among his associates were Bill Gates, Prince Charles, and John Kerry, the former American Secretary of State. Arif was a member of powerful boards at the United Nations and Interpol, the International Police Agency. It was no coincidence that world political leaders were meeting at the same time, a short walk away at United Nations headquarters. For Arif's objective was to convince his audience that he could solve humanity's biggest problems: hunger, sickness, illiteracy, climate change, and power shortages, better than the politicians assembled across town. Arif was one of the world's leading impact investors, and his purpose was to do good and make profit for his investors and for himself. 2 years earlier, the United Nations had announced a hugely ambitious plan, which Pope Francis blessed, to end global poverty by 2030. The plan required $2.5 trillion of annual funding, in addition to what governments and companies were already providing. Arif said he could help. He was founder and chief executive of the Unabridged Group, a private equity firm based in Dubai. Unabridged managed almost $14 billion and owned stakes in 100 companies worldwide. Arif was asking investors for $6 billion more, which Unabridged would use to buy and improve companies in poor countries. By doing this, he would help the UN end poverty and make profit for himself and his...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?